It will never be the degree. It will always be the skills you bring to the table.
You have also written a book on study abroad.
Most foreign institutions run because of the Indian students that are going and studying over there.
The biggest fear is that if they see a failure.
Especially Indian parents are very conscious about two things. My dad said that only doctors and engineers get married.
So, what is the kind of advice which you generally give to your own children?
You are not going to be replaced by AI, but by a person who's going to be using AI better.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Converge podcast series of global education leaders with Masters Union. I am Sachin, an IIT and IIM Bangalore alumnus, working as an associate director at Masters Union. Today, we have a very special guest who is a renowned overseas education counselor with over 24 years of experience, having mentored over 1,000 students and received numerous accolades, including the ones from Economic Times, the Times of India, and the Governor of Rajasthan for his excellent leadership in overseas education. He is also a TEDx Talk youth speaker. I would like to welcome Mr. Pawan Solanki as a guest speaker for today's session. Welcome, Mr. Pawan.
Thank you, Sachin. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for this.
It's a great honor to have you here, Mr. Pawan. I would like to start the discussion by having a quick talk about you being on campus. You took a tour and saw the beautiful campus. So, how has been your feeling?
First of all, congratulations to Masters Union for setting up something that's absolutely world class. Because I have traveled to universities across the world, and I'm as an Indian, I feel very proud to say that at the Gurgaon campus of Masters Union, we are able to showcase to the world something as good as any city campus of any leading university across the world. You're right in the middle of the corporate sector. The students can just walk across to some of the Fortune 500 companies. That's the kind of learning environment that any student would desire, or a work environment. Like I saw the food court where students could basically walk in and have lunch with working professionals from multinational organizations. And the classroom layout, the facilities, the amenities that are available to the students. And one of your colleagues beautifully described it as that after the age of 17, you're basically in the corporate work life. You're just being trained along the way. So you're being exposed to that. So I think that's the need of the hour, the hands-on experience that everybody talks about. And I would, want to point out some institutions that go on and open up these huge campuses in the middle of nowhere, where they've got zero access to a corporate environment, a learning environment, versus what Masters Union has been able to create, where a student can just walk across and step into a workplace, walk back and work with his professor in the classroom. That's just beautiful. Really nice.
So, I'm really thankful for and very inspiring words from you, I would say. Very beautifully summarized as well. The overall fundamental and concepts behind setting up an institution like Masters Union in the middle of the corporate hub, surrounded by Fortune 500 companies. The core fundamental was that we wanted to promote learn by doing, right? If you look at medical students, they are always situated within the vicinity of a hospital, right? The core idea behind that, you cannot learn how to, do surgeries till the time you have actually practiced it, right?
Absolutely.
So why should it be different for the other education streams which exist, be it business, engineering, or any other field for that matter, right? Coming from that perspective, the idea has always been to set up a campus at a corporate hub, and that has also helped us. A lot of our faculties, they're actually industry practitioners. So our chairperson, Mr. Manoj Kohli, he is a former Airtel CEO and also SoftBank India head. We have Mr. Mathur, who was MD of Morgan Stanley. We have a professor who is from NASA, Mr. Edward Rogers, who is teaching on campus. And we are having a lot of master classes from industry leaders like Mr. Aman Gupta, Anupam Mittal, Kasalalak. So almost on a 2-3 week basis, industry leaders are coming on campus, interacting with the students, and that could not have been possible, or I would say it would have been very difficult if the campus was in a remote area. So I come from IIT Roorkee, and we were always very jealous of the other IITs, whether it was IIT Delhi or IIT Bombay, for that matter, because they used to, a part of the good placement records that they used to have was because of the fact that they were located right in the heart of metro cities, big cities, right?
Cities, exactly. So
Whereas,
access,
whereas for if we have to call a corporate
HR head or whatever
HR head to
Roorkee.
Roorkee,
Right.
they would either fly to Delhi, take a 4-5 hours cab to Roorkee, or via Dehradun it will take another 2-3 hours. So it was always a challenge, right? However, all of those concerns are solved here. And once again, I would like to very, very beautifully summarized. From here on, so we'll talk about Masters Union later on in the discussion. But I am very inspired by your journey. You have also written a book on study abroad, right? So quick snippets, if we can have on your an entire 24 years of journey so far.
So I'll just add on to whatever I experienced at Masters Union over here before I talk more about myself. Every institution that I have come across, every institution tends to claim a lot of things. Yeah. But when it comes to walk the talk, it is very difficult. And I think one of the very few institutions across India who has the capability to do it, and what you're delivering is actually world class, whether it's the infrastructure or the location or the faculty for that matter. And I hope the students realize the value of this. Whereas I've seen colleges across India struggle with discipline. Now, here, students, when they see working professionals all around them, so it just has a ripple effect, yes. and they automatically are trained for that.
They're always inspired and motivated by seeing the leaders and their journey.
Absolutely. And you're giving so many opportunities to them at one go. So that itself, today, you made my day by allowing me to come and have a look at the campus.
Thank you so much
this is world class, right? Now, my journey was interesting. I'm a Delhi boy, did my schooling in Delhi, have an engineering background, have done my master's in management as well. But I did a diploma in counseling, and it was only after that diploma in counseling that I realized that, this is something that I should have done, and engineering was probably a mistake. But
I'm sure majority of the engineers in the country
claim absolutely, but
they go through that pain.
That pain, in India, to sell a soap, you have to first be an engineer. Yeah. So it's a default setting, and I was tricked into engineering because my dad said that only doctors and engineers get married, so no one else. So that was a trick. But I envy today's generation because we didn't have internet.
Absolutely.
We didn't have smartphones. Whatever I learned was purely based on experience and personal life experiences, exposure that came in by the way. So imagine finishing your studies before you had access to direct internet connections at home. Now, today's generation who's entering colleges these days, they can't imagine a world without smartphone or without internet access. But we come from old school. 24 years in this sector has been very interesting. We have seen the change of letting private universities come in, allowing private universities to increase the number of spots available, giving the autonomy to private institutions within India to create and curate their own courses. Then Indian universities being allowed to set up campuses abroad, so whether it's the BITS Pilani or whether it is IIT Delhi or whether it is an IIM, they going abroad, whether it is foreign universities being given permission to set up campuses in India. 140 of them are coming over here. We have seen...
And I have been reading about it that the trend is rising. More and more international universities are setting up campuses here.
Absolutely. And the fact is, just like India is the future for business. Today, most foreign institutions run because of the Indian students that are going and studying over there. Like for example, if you look at UK, 2007, the government stopped funding the universities. The UK universities are entirely dependent on tuition fee that are from overseas students, and India is a significant contributor to the whole thing. Similarly, we have seen changes that have come to the sector, how global incidents like the 9/11 or COVID or your geopolitical scenarios, all of that have changed the scenario.
Especially, I think for the last 1.5 years, the
I would say post COVID,
post-COVID, it has been
yeah,
changing. The
exactly,
dynamics
yeah.
have been
I
shifting.
think COVID was a trigger that people were not ready for. People didn't know how to react to COVID. Nobody had a mandate how to handle that, and the ripple effects of the economic impact of COVID is what we are seeing today in the changes in geopolitics across the world.
In fact, I would like to bring upon a very small instance. So, we actually went against the odds
Right.
during COVID,
Right.
and where everyone was going online, we started Masters Union during COVID in 2020.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And it actually worked for us because lot of students who had gotten international offers, so they deferred their joining,
Absolutely.
because when you're paying in crores, you would not want to study online, right?
Absolutely.
So we actually reached out to such kids to come and study at Masters Union, told them the concept, and and again, that the core fundamentals always remained the same, that we wanted them to go through experiential journey, and also invited a lot of our industry leaders whom we had good connects, right? So after 1 year, we actually reached out again through our connections to industry leaders, whether they can give us an interview slot for our students. There's no compulsion for hiring, right? When they interviewed, they really liked the kids, and 1 year later, they themselves came back to us saying that the kids that you gave were very good, they performed well, so we would like to come and recruit again. That's how the journey began, and I'm just adding on to the trends that you just
Absolutely.
mentioned,
Absolutely.
that COVID actually brought a lot of shift in the
Absolutely,
education
yeah.
sector.
And there were some universities who were able to respond to it, some countries that were able to respond to it, others not so much. Another major trend, if you were to call it, that I would say has remained the same, is parents, especially Indian parents, are very conscious about two things. One is the brand reputation, not so much the ranking, but the reputation, and the second is the ROI. That is it worth it, right? So they calculate down to every rupee and every dollar, and they really want to give the best when it comes to education for their children. So that's something that has remained constant in my 24 years, because the parents are always asking about these aspects. Things like safety, security, they're all there.
Absolutely.
They're all there. But I would say the first thing that attracts them to a university is always the brand reputation and the ROI, the placements. These are the tough questions that every parent is like, I'm going to be spending so much, and that's it. And what many universities are not realizing is that after COVID, people have seen what online education looks like. Not everybody is a fan of it. And every university is trying to make the same kind of noise that we do hands-on learning. But how will you do hands-on learning if your campus is in the middle of farms, right? And so whereas if of course you're let's say in a city campus, most of the foreign universities are able to work that advantage to the students, that look, you come to the campus for 3 days and you work for 3 days. So that's one of the biggest attraction for Indian students to be able to go abroad, that I'll develop some life skills, I will be able to work, manage my expenses, I will gain some useful experience while I am still a student before I sit for my first placement round or whatever. So those were the things that an Indian student was looking at to get an advantage of. And what I think Masters Union has been able to create, and what I saw today, is create a similar environment right here in India. And that's something fantastic, because talking about all of this on paper or in marketing brochures won't help, but being there does make a difference. 24 years has also been interesting, because One is helping others children go out, and now I have a daughter who's writing her year 12 boards, and whatever medicines I've been prescribing to everyone, now now I have to take the same pill. Yeah. So I'm all so there's a huge performance pressure back at home as well. So yeah, so that's.
So what is the kind of advice which you generally give to your own children versus, let's say, to any other kid out there?
So, my advice, interestingly, to my own children is exactly the same what I give to any child, and that was a promise that I made to myself and to my wife that and I say this out aloud to my parents that if I am not going to recommend this to my own child, I will not recommend it to yours. It's very simple. So the first thing that I always tell my children is life skills are more important than anything else. So if you don't know how to be on time, if you don't know how to take care of yourself, manage a routine, time management, if it's not there, you are ready to be a failure anyways. So stop managing everything else. First, get on with your life skills. Second, always have human values like empathy, gratitude. These are very important. Once you have this, and academics is good, then everything is great. And always have a long-term plan. I studied at APS in Delhi, so being an army kid myself, something that we learned, always have a plan B. Always have a plan B. So this is my plan A, very good, work hard for it, but be ready for failure. Now, one of the things that I have seen with a lot of children when they go through a lot of stress and anxiety is they have never experienced failure, rejection, or a no right up to year 12. Right.
And in fact, for a lot of achievers who have seen consistent successes throughout their journey, their biggest fear is that if they see a failure, how do they respond? They don't know how
they don't know how to respond to it. Yeah.
In fact, I was reading a news article just, I think, 2 days back.
Right.
That Claude has developed its AI tool, Anthropic.
Right.
Which is capable of doing every other corporate job which the likes of TCS or Infosys.
All your entry level jobs are gone. All your entry level
likes of TCS, Infosys, they used to do
exactly,
and offer as services to the global giants.
Absolutely.
So that Anthropic tool can do all of that, and that has led to, I think, more than 7-8% drop in the share prices of all these firms, because there's huge amount of fear that AI is going to take a lot of jobs, right?
Yeah.
It's very good to know, just adding on to that point, very good to know that a lot of GCCs are coming up in India. And for the students, it's very, very important to upskill themselves, enroll themselves in all such relevant courses, which are not just training them and teaching them those traditional bookish knowledge, but also training them in all the upcoming AI tools.
Absolutely.
How to become a good prompt engineer, I would say.
Yeah.
And even if, let's say, you are not going in the core, data science or AI field, still AI is going to be relevant in all the fields.
Interesting you say that, because I've been explaining it to our students, our teachers, our counselors, and everyone. And being an old man myself, going back to the 24-year reference, 24 years ago in this very country, we had national television debates about people wanting to do online banking or not. Should we have a website or not? Should we have online banking or not? 10 years ago in this very country, people were doubting if we can have digital payments via UPI or a Paytm. We had the former finance minister actually going and saying it's not possible. And today we are selling UPI.
Nobody in the world had seen
something like that, right? But in last 10 years, you've seen that change. So now today, you cannot have an individual without an email ID, without a social media profile, without digital verification of your credentials. Every individual has those skills. Every individual has internet browsing skills, has an email ID, and can access that. In the next 2 to 3 years, you will have everyone with AI skills. AI will not be something separate. AI will be integral to everyone as part of. I will be a driver, but with AI skill set. I will be a software developer, but with AI skill set. I'll be a doctor, but with an AI skill set. Now, that is how common or how inclusive AI is going to be in our lives. What students need to realize is that you are not going to be replaced by AI, but by a person who's going to be using AI better.
Correct.
So today, if you're saying
Very,
that,
very, very valid statement,
right,
I would say.
right.
Very
So,
valid.
so today, if you are wanting to wanting to learn public policy, you can't ignore technical skills or AI skills during your training. Universities are not responding fast enough to incorporate these skill sets in their curriculum. Some are, most of them are not. The ones that are able to evolve faster would actually lead the next generation. Like today, they are telling me that probably the next big car maker would not be a traditional car maker, but somebody who understands technology better,
Correct.
right? So similarly, the next big university or the next big education shift may not be led by a traditional university or a traditional course, but by some of these game changers, new age curriculum providers. People may not be having the time and the mind space to go in for a regular 2 year master's. They may want a 3 month certificate course. I just want to upskill myself,
yeah.
and just get onto that. Just give me these skills.
And that will be a continuous journey because
Continuous journey.
AI is also evolving very fast.
Absolutely.
Right. In fact, I was reading about the businesses which use APIs from these AI platforms like ChatGPT.
Right.
So their businesses are not sustainable at the moment because once they have spent like 2-3 minutes in building that, another in the next 2-3 months, the core background, core fundamental on which they had built it, it has now changed. Like they built it on, let's say, ChatGPT 4.5,
right,
and now 5.2 has come in the next 3-4 months.
Right.
So the underlying way of working is changing.
Yeah.
So that is what is happening fundamentally in the ground beneath. But you can see implications outside when everything is shifting so fast. I think just 2.5 years back, nobody was able to imagine that AI could also make videos. It can replicate and make changes to a lot of popular movie scenes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But now today it's very hard to distinguish which is the real one and which has been made by the
Absolutely.
AI.
So this is where, like, again, I meet a lot of high school children who come to me and say that, sir, I want to do a course in creative arts or movie making or whatever. And then I have to expose them to, look, this is what AI is doing already.
Yeah.
And if you are planning to invest the next 3 to 4 years into just a movie making course, maybe this will not give you the right kind of career outcome at the end of 4 years. In those 4 years, you will have to learn the AI part of it, the technical part of it, and maybe something else. So that's how things are changing. That's how things are evolving.
In fact, at Masters Union, all the courses which we are offering in undergraduate exams. So now we have 5 courses in undergraduate. So in all of these programs, AI is integrated inherently across the board. And we also have a dedicated program which is called Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, which trains the students and makes them ready for any kind of engineering core job profile which exists into this domain, right? So overall, the point that I was driving, that both traditional colleges as well as new age institutions are focusing. The opportunity lies there for the students to grab. It is up to them how do they upskill themselves and get enrolled to these.
Absolutely, and do their research right. Do their research right. Check the course content. Just don't go with the name of the course. Look at the career outcomes, how well you're being supported. And I would again compliment Masters Union, because the one takeaway that I'm taking after visit to your institution is how well you have integrated the corporate exposure for students.
Yeah.
Now, because that's something that I would say is lacking in most of Indian universities, or it is blocked out that only one semester you have to leave college and then you have to go. Here, you're being exposed to the rest of the corporate world every day.
Yeah.
That exposure changes. Like they say that if you're on Instagram, that's affecting your mind. Here you are right now in a work environment that's bound to affect you in a very positive way. So you know what you're signing up for, or what is truly world-class and where the world has moved when you're right in the middle of all these Fortune 500 multinational organizations, and you're taking your coffee breaks with them and you're taking your lunch breaks with them and talking to them.
I would now like to move to our next section, where the key question which a lot of students are going through at the moment, which is over the next 5-10 years, how will the significance of degree over skills shape up?
Very good question. In fact, we get that a lot. My personal opinion is skills have always mattered, will matter even more in the years to come. With the disruptors like Mr. Elon Musk out there at play, who are saying that We are creating a chip which will render all traditional schooling in
Neuralink.
universities absolutely useless. Maybe that happens in the next 5 years, so you don't know. But skills are definitely going to matter, and especially EQ and IQ. Because if most of my job is going to be done by AI anyways, then I would want to work with an individual who is a great company.
Yeah.
So your soft skills, your human skills would be greatly valued. So keep working on that. That's what I would say. That it will never be the degree. It will always be the skills you bring to the table. For example, you are an IIT graduate yourself.
Yeah.
You and I both are not doing anything related to
Related to
engineering.
engineering, yes.
Right. So this is going to be the future as well. Yeah.
So, sir, in today's time, if a student walks up to you and you having such a big legacy of over 24 years of experience in study overseas, but looking at today's scenario, the overall dynamics globally as well as in India, skill-based learning becoming so relevant and important. If a kid walks to you and wants your opinion, whether he should go overseas or he should study in India, skills over anything else which the institute is offering. So, what would be your genuine advice to him?
Thank you for asking that. And I have always maintained this advice for all my students. For me, it has never been India or overseas. It has always been what is the right fit for you.
Right.
Because every student has different needs, aspirations, and you will get the right fit. And I have a very simple example to prove this. If anybody understands Delhi University, there are two children who've got Bachelor's of Commerce degree from Delhi University. One is from St. Stephen's, the other is from Atmaram Sanatan Dharm College. Both have a BCom from Delhi University, but both are two very different individuals who've got a different kind of exposure, different kind of peer environment. And somebody who's from St. Stephen's may not be able to survive the ARSD environment. And somebody from an ARSD environment may not be able to thrive or flourish in the St. Stephen's environment. Similarly, for students who walk up to me for my advice is always is this institution the right place for you? Are you going to get the ROI that you're looking for? Are the skill sets that are being taught to you as part of the program, are they relevant for you?
Relevant for you. Like, what is the outcome that you are looking at?
Absolutely.
Right?
Another important aspect, have you done your homework and research, especially around the visa rules? Because the way visa rules are changing, is it that I'm getting something better within India or Asia for that matter, versus, let's say, going to a traditional European or a Western environment country? So all these questions are something that we force the child to think, do research on when we are there. So it's never about go abroad only or study in India only. It's always about finding the right fit for you.
Right fit for you, right outcomes for you. You define your outcomes.
Absolutely.
And see the fitment accordingly, whether you're looking at India, abroad, or skills, brand. I think that's actually the right way to look at it. Absolutely. And that is what career counseling is all about. You understand what the student is looking at, what his strengths and areas of improvement are, right, and accordingly helping him in making the decision throughout the journey. Absolutely. Right. So, as a parting note, what would be any piece of advice that you would want to give to student who would want to looking to enroll into any new age institution like Masters Union?
So again, my advice for whether it is Masters Union, and again, congratulations on this wonderful setup and whatever you've been able to create over here. Whether it is Masters Union or any other institution, I always request them to check on an institution's credentials. Always check on the career outcomes, the alumni, who are the people behind it, location. Very important. Very important. The skills that are going to be taught to you, the environment, and does the story make sense? Like, for example, if I know of an IIM which is in the middle of farmlands in the state of Haryana. And they talk about placements and everything, but it's restricted to a 6-month experience, where it is a forced placement as part of the curriculum, versus a new age work environment like yours, which would definitely be an advantage to a student who's accessing, which is similar to what, especially the as you mentioned, location plays a huge amongst Fortune 500 companies. That actually helps. Absolutely. So and what I again compliment Masters Union is on being able to achieve something very similar to what some of the top universities across the world are able to achieve via their city campuses. Like, the exposure, every child, every institution talks about the exposure that they give to the child, and here it's a live example, so that's great. But advice to every student would always be check the credentials, check the course contents, check the skill sets that are being given, check value proposition, check the exposure that you're getting.
And that's absolutely, I would say, the right checklist to look at when you are enrolling into an institution. Unlike the traditional way of thinking that this is a good brand, so just close your eyes and go ahead with it. But there are a lot of other aspects that a student should look at. So from that perspective, very proud to say that 6 of our students have been featured on Shark Tank India. 4 are from postgraduate programs and 2 students are from undergraduate. So 19-year-old kids from an institution, they are featuring, 18-year-old kids are featuring on Shark Tank. And apart from that, lot of students student startups have received VC funding. We have a VC day where 50 to 100 VCs are on campus and students present their startups and receive funds.
Yeah, so I think you should make more noise about this. Like, I doubt if many management schools across India are able to claim that they have got 50 plus VCs on campus on a single day where students are getting an opportunity to pitch. And that's such a new age requirement. If I want to have business skills for the future, this is what I need. This is what needs to be trained to me. And I doubt if this is happening across multiple business schools. I'm sure some of them are doing it, but not everyone is doing it.
Yeah. In fact, all of our students who are studying, so they are very happy with the kind of exposure which exists, and they really cherish and value the opportunities. In fact, there have been almost no cases where a student has come and studied with us, already studying with us, and they have a sibling going to any other institution apart from Masters Union. So there's always a ripple effect, and students always love the exposure which they get. So very nice speaking to you, Mr. Pawan. It was a pleasure having you on our campus. Really thankful for giving us time for the podcast. We got to learn a lot on very diverse topics, whether it's how the international education is shaping up, how Indian education ecosystem is shaping up. Very interesting to know how international universities are setting up campuses in India and India setting up campuses abroad. How relevant AI has been in today's era, how after COVID things have changed, and your entire experience of how Masters Union is changing things, bringing an impact, and your thoughts about it. So
and one thing remaining constant for 24 years, the parent aspirations still
correct. Parent aspirations have always
return on investment.
Return on investment.
Yeah.
And the last piece of advice which you gave, what should a student look at, which is not just the brand or not just the placements, but a checklist on varied outcomes which they should look. So very grateful to you and thank you for coming for the session.
Thank you so much.